You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
All right, so did the O-line concerns make you worried? Well, you're not worried because you already believe that your Jets are going to fall on their face because they always do.
I'm not worried because I promised myself I would not do what I normally do before every Jets season, which is doom and gloom. Like, I'm just not going to do it. We have a quarterback. It's funny. I know a lot of people don't like Aaron Rodgers, but, man, if you love an NFL team, you wish you had Aaron Rodgers. If you watch the first two episodes, you wish your quarterback was Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Unless you have one of the elites. You do. I don't care.
What's that face, Jess?
Jess told me during the break, I wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, okay, I'll gladly take him.
Hold on. Maybe you're Kenny Pickett. Okay, maybe
I like Kenny Pickett.
You gotta go your Justin Fields there.
I love my Justin Fields and also my Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett's been playing better, and it helps to have George Pickens. But that aside, we're not talking about the Aaron Rodgers that you know. We're talking about the Aaron Rodgers that you see on Hard Knocks. So from the little bit of Hard Knocks that is out there, how could you not want him as your quarterback?
Because I'm a fan of my Bears, and Aaron Rodgers has terrorized them for the better.
That's what you weren't listening. I said, pretend we don't know anything about it. It's like all you know is what you see. This guy that says "I love you" to all his teammates all the time. Guy that wants to just chummy with all the refs and coaches.
Great with the coaches.
I know it's not real. But
you don't feel like it's real. You feel like he's playing to the cameras?
It's a show.
I feel like he'll turn Zach Wilson around the corner and be like The Weeknd. Not that scene, the other scene.
Okay. There's a lot of scenes there.
You need to definitely clarify.
Yeah, not that scene, not the other scene, but the
like.
The
third scene.
Say it again.
Gotcha.
I'll kill you.
I mean, your quarterback was Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
He had a hat, though,
guy.
that said, "Cherish the little things." How can you not love that? It's such a... I mean, I feel like that's got to be on a pillow. And a lot of Crate and Barrels. I don't know. Crate and Barrels sell pillows? Sounds about right.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Billy would know.
I'm more of like a CB1 guy, you know? Isn't that their discount store?
I was traveling.
CB2?
That's the one.
CB1 is just Crate and Barrel.
I was traveling when
right up your alley.
This story came out.
I wish.
And I was hoping against hope that I would see a clip on it because did you see the story from Kyle Shanahan, who he said his emergency quarterback was going to be had the Niners beaten the Eagles in the NFC Championship game? Who would have started in that Super Bowl? Stugotz, you would have loved this.
Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers. That would have been
He's just waiting.
So great.
Phillip Rivers is still popping out kids, and I'm also concerned that that Josh Allen is on Phillip Rivers' trajectory. Like, he's going to be a great quarterback, and it feels like the roster construction, the age of the players, the money that they have outlaid right now, this is kind of the last year they can make a run before they have to rebuild around Josh Allen once again.
It's the last year with Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah, probably last year with Stephon Diggs because of their...
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, that no one has reported officially, so we will not report officially. But also just the age of their defense and a lot of players that they have on the team that they're relying on, the offensive line. They keep investing in these older guys, which I respect, where it's like, all right, we're not going to let any of the good players leave.
You follow football. What's Von Miller's status?
I don't know. He's
got a podcast, I think.
Yeah. Coming back from the ACL seems like
list.
Coming back from the ACL seems like something that you cannot rely on, especially when you get to a certain age. So I wouldn't count on Von Miller being all that productive until the end of the season, which is when they need him. When they needed him last year, they didn't have him because he was a difference maker. But bringing in guys like that and continue to sign people like that.
I know he played hurt, and this is probably like a first take topic, but
let's do it.
Dude, I saw the most ridiculous topic I'd ever seen.
I think I saw it. Was it earlier today?
Dude, was it the Kelce one?
No, I saw George Pickens one that was crazy.
Hold on one second. What was the Kelce one? We'll get the Pickens in a second. What was
or worst take, whichever game you prefer.
Second take. I like that.
So we'd all agree, 1,000-yard season. You could make an argument greatest tight end of all time. They're reigning Super Bowl champs. The question was, is Kansas City's offense too reliant on Travis Kelce?
Oh, too reliant.
Why is it a good question? Like, it seemed to
won
have
a
worked.
Super Bowl.
It worked. I got a formula. Be super reliant on Travis Kelce. They didn't even need to be reliant on Tyreek Hill. We've seen it both ways.
They just needed Kelce.
They're just asking.
Yeah, just put it out there. Someone obviously believes that they are too reliant on Travis Kelce. And I would argue in most cases, yes, you're too reliant if your best player, offensive weapon, is a tight end. That's not good. Travis Kelce's not a tight end.
He's a wide receiver playing tight end.
He's a big-ass pass catcher, which is not nearly as problematic as having your offense based around Mark Andrews, which, congratulations, Baltimore Ravens, getting some receivers and trying to move into the modern era of football.
You think Mark Andrews is happy with that?
No. Mark Andrews was eaten out there. Mark Andrews is now running flat routes to open up deep corners for Zay Flowers.
We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, we'll see.
What was the Pickens topic?
Oh,
I'm
glad you asked.
The games break down.
Oh, what's the Pickens topic?
Pickens topic. Can George Pickens be an all-time wide receiver? How about get 1,000 yards first?
He's played
Then
one
we'll
year.
Okay.
All-time wide receiver?
The Pickett to Pickens connection really became apparent in the second half of last season. If you weren't watching, you weren't paying attention.
If you weren't watching, obviously, if you
Yeah,
weren't watching,
exactly.
you weren't paying. George Pickens is the type of receiver that he's one of those guys you like to have on your team that you would hate to play against, because I see George Pickens out there and I'm like, man, that's an incredible catch. What a physical play.
He's a ball winner.
I would hate that guy if I played against him, because he's out here looking to embarrass people. He's a wide receiver with like a middle linebacker's mentality, which is gross. The gross stuff is for them in there.
Yeah.
We're out here. We're classy out here.
Did you ever cover Anquan Boldin?
Oh, yeah.
And was that fun for you?
So Anquan Boldin and I have a long history that he's not aware of. So I played against Anquan Boldin my sophomore year.
That's right, ACC.
Yeah, I think it was my junior year. I think I was coming off like a good season, All-American, All-ACC. I'm feeling good about myself, either sophomore or junior season, and Anquan Boldin comes to town. Not fast, not quick, not traditional receiver stuff for me to be concerned about. So I was like, all right, we good. Nothing to worry about. Anquan Boldin also plays receiver like he's a middle damn linebacker.
Yeah.
So Anquan Boldin bullied me for the entire game and caught touchdowns, did whatever he wanted, then went on to go to the NFL. I harbored a grudge for years and years. I got drafted by the Broncos, and then we went to Arizona, I think, where Anquan Boldin was playing. And so I was all right. It's going to happen right now. I tried to fight Anquan Boldin for
you
the
crazy?
entire first quarter. I was
Twice your size.
yeah, I was talking all types of shit in his face, pushing him after the whistle, doing everything because I'm harboring this grudge. Like, you bullied me when I was a tiny sophomore. Now I'm a
tiny professional.
Yeah, now I'm a tiny rookie, and we gonna fight out here. So this goes on for about the entire first quarter. Then somewhere midway through the second quarter, he's like, What are you doing? Like, be a professional, essentially is what he said to me. And it just took all of the wind out of myself. Like, yeah, he's right. We're out here working. Why am I at work trying to fight other employees?
So yes to George Pickens?
Is that the best ball winner you ever went up against?
Steve Smith's pretty good also.
Yeah.
Great ball winner. There's a guy, his name always
And
slips my mind.
he doesn't have the frame for it. Like,
He
that's
was so
just all
small.
That's
Yeah.
just tenacity.
I mean, it's like a lot like Tyreek Hill. He's an incredible ball winner. He doesn't get credit for it because he's so good at everything else. But I
You
played
have to be
against,
tall to be an incredible ball winner. I feel like you do.
No, I think Hines Ward. I think Hines Ward ball winner.
Yeah. Randy
He's a getter of
Moss,
balls, really?
decent ball winner. Not bad at going up and getting
Chris
it.
Carter.
I can tell another ACC story. We were, again, I'm feeling good about myself, thinking I'm good, all conference, whatever. And then we are going up against Georgia Tech's coming to town, and they have a freshman wide receiver that I'm like, all right, it's a freshman. Seems like we have a pattern here. I like to underestimate people that are getting lots of hype. Oh, you got a freshman. Oh, Reggie Ball's throwing you the ball? All right, we good. Then he walks out on the field, and I line up across from.
I got to see a still of that.
I line up across from Megatron. Jesus.
I got to see the side by side.
They run early in that game. They run like a dig, and I got it covered just fine. Reggie Ball throws the ball generally in his direction because Reggie Ball was kind of like a fullback who was playing quarterback. He throws the ball generally in his direction. Megatron jumps 12 feet into the air. Calvin Johnson catches the ball, and I tackle him so that he lands on my chest, his whole body weight. I was like, waving at the side, come help, somebody come because that man was a monster. But then we played him in the NFL a few times, and he was always on bad teams, so had no issue with him in the league, which is nice.
Is this photo on
lucky.
Getty?
But if he were on good teams.
No, I got lucky with, so like almost all my games against Randy Moss, he was on the Raiders.
If you Google image,
So you got the bad Randy
you do have
Moss.
a pass breakup that's photographed here. Now,
All right.
Let's go.
I never said I was bad.
it's you and what is it, Zibikowski? The Notre Dame boxer guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, another great performer.
I played with Zibby in
Zibby.
Baltimore. But yeah, I got lucky because Randy Moss was in. I did play once against Randy when he was with the Patriots. Not fun. I broke up a pass that got tipped that Ed intercepted. That was good. But I fortunately played against Megatron when he was in Detroit a lot, which we had one person to worry about. You know where the safety is rolling? My way. I will fight you in the locker room.
Yeah.
I will fight you
No,
in
you're
the locker
definitely
room.
getting safety help
Yeah.
here.
Bring your ass on over here.
I'm the best safety ever.
Come on, roll. Well, that's the thing about Ed.
Ed made Tom Zibikowski a pro for a long time.
Ed did when I first got to Baltimore. My first few games I struggled in part because I didn't understand the defense to the.
I'm not pronouncing that right? It's Zibkowski.
Zibikowski.
It's Zibba-
Or is it?
No,
Is a Zibba or a Zib?
Yeah, we always
Because
called
it's
him,
ZB.
Yeah, I know. We always called him Zibikowski.
Zibikowski.
But I don't know. I mean,
Just don't call him late for supper.
we just call him Zibby.
It's easier.
Is it Samarja or is it Smarja?
Smarja.
Smarja.
Chef Smarja.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I know
Say
how
it
to
quick.
say it.
Of course she does. She has gold nails.
Thanks for noticing.
No, they're nice. They're real eye catchers. I appreciate it. I don't like Notre Dame though, but I like your nails.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I mean, nobody
I barely
does.
like them sometimes.
Does anybody? Notre Dame falls in the category. How did it get grandfathered into that category with like great teams, even though they are not
11
all that
national
successful?
championships.
As you know,
11
those
Heisman
national
winners.
championships
When was the
do
last?
not count because Chubby
Claimed.
Checker was running the ball.
The Catholic Church rewriting a flattering history of itself.
Nailed it.
Doesn't work.
Hey, it's Mike Ryan, and I've been outdoors more than I'd like to admit this summer. It's really hot. I've been burning through shirts. Can't go anywhere in South Florida without a backup shirt. I'm just telling you right now. But that's going to be the second best advice I give you here. The best advice I can possibly give you, it's cracking open that beautiful white can and letting the great taste of Miller Lite hit your taste buds so hard you feel it in your heart. Have yourself some Miller time, folks. Miller time. You know, the time when you and your friends can get together and enjoy the simple things in life. Why don't you let these wonderful summer moments get amplified with Miller Lite? Because when it's summertime, it tastes like Miller time. The best beer there is. I promise you, there isn't going to be a better decision that you can make this summer than just taking a sip out of that beautiful white can. Make unforgettable summer memories with Miller Lite. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Le Batard.
Well, my point about Jimbo Fisher is that Nick Saban, he's been trying to cancel me for saying that Mrs. Met has cake. And Bobby Bowden would have said, Mrs. Met, she is snatched.
Stugotz.
Yeah, I never pay for a player. Now, I would pay for Mrs. Met to give me a lap dance.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I have a question for you guys. Does anyone else regularly get in their mail flyers saying that there's just acreages of land for sale in the Carolinas, Tennessee, Georgia area? Because I get it all the time. And
I see it on TV. I never get it in the mail.
I'm always being alerted to these land auctions.
Never.
Yeah, in the Carolinas.
I feel like that's a super Cuban thing. Is it in the Carolinas and is it La Montaña?
I'm trying to remember because I got one yesterday, and the last time that I got one, I shared this story, and Tony got really excited and wanted to go into business and buy it, and I was like, but there's probably no running water.
We'll figure
or
that out. Don't worry about
electricity
that.
or
Don't worry
roads or
Look,
anything.
if pioneers did it 200 years ago, we can do it today. Don't worry about it.
They didn't do it 200 years ago.
They did. That's exactly what they did.
They
died,
No, they
and
died
they were
because they kept
saved by-
going up ponds.
Right.
They all had dysentery.
Yeah,
They did it. Have you ever played Oregon Trail?
No, actually, I
They
haven't.
never figured it out. It was only till later.
Oh man! All right, Billy, please continue.
Well, no. So then there's
Poor
a couple
Tony.
there's a couple different options. There's a 2-acre.
If it weren't for the pioneers in the West, none of that would be inhabited. So they made it happen.
There were people there before the
Yes.
American.
It was literally inhabited.
Yes.
We took it.
I don't know who
I
we
like-
are. I don't know who we are in
No,
this
but the
situation.
pioneers like to take credit.
Maybe it's
and
you,
yeah.
not me.
I love that we are in Florida.
Royal we Americans.
And Tony is like, nah, we're going to stick with that old history. I like that old history they taught. I'm not letting it go, baby. All right, Billy, let's get back to this business.
Well,
Perhaps some of them benefited from it.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Billy.
Tony's getting mad.
I'm not getting mad. I'm cool. I'm going into business with Billy. I'm
No,
cool.
but that's
Well,
the thing.
Billy's not going into business
I'm not,
with you.
I'm not
yet.
asking to go into business with you because I tell him I'm like, there's a 2-acre option where you split a dock, and then there's 1 acre where you have your own dock.
Hold
and
on, we
then
got docks?
That's exactly what he said. His eyes perked up. He goes, "This is waterfront."
Oh, I like a little dock op. We got a dock
Wait
opportunity.
A second. So here's the thing, right? Airbnb businesses, a little bit on the downslope right now.
This
But
is
again,
different than how this went this morning when
Yeah.
you said Airbnb, great business
It's
right now. I'm
booming.
like,
No, it's booming.
I
It's
don't
booming.
think that's
But now
the
it's on the
case.
downslope.
Business
Which
is-
is it, Tony?
It's
Business
a
is
booming
booming.
downslope.
business is booming.
Wish
but
your upslope was
But
as
a
good as this
downslope.
downslope.
here's the thing,
Pioneers.
right?
Yep.
There's 11,000 Airbnbs in Brickell. Yeah, of course it's going to be bad. But what we don't have is something out in the mountains, somewhere out by some water, where people just want to go, disconnect, turn off their phone, relax, have a nice, enjoyable time with their family. And that's what I'm saying. We could provide people a nice lakefront with a dock. You put a jet ski out there. You put a fishing boat. You put a pontoon boat. Everybody has fun.
I don't think you understand the geography of North Carolina. There is a lot of nothing, and that is what they're giving you.
Did you hear when he said dock front? That
I
means
can
there's
t-
water.
There's a lake in my hometown. That thing is nasty. No
But there's
one's
no
going
dock.
there.
We're not going to your hometown, respectfully.
You might
Respectfully,
actually be.
we're not.
You don't know where we're going. Yeah.
We're not going there, respectfully.
Where we're going, there are no roads.
Exactly. Literally, there are no roads. We have to pay
But
them
there's
ourselves.
a dock. Someone went and put a dock in with no roads.
Sounds a little disrespectful.
Also, are you landsplaining me?
Absolutely.
I don't think you get it.
Don't let geography get in the way of your opportunity, Tony.
Exactly. So, Domonique, what we need is a sound, savvy.
Who's
business
we?
partner. Me and Billy.
Oh, now you're in cahoots.
So,
My life is filled with people bringing me into their businesses.
I know, so you have experience. Perfect. So, what I'm trying to
Dan.
do is get a sound, savvy businessman who understands the game on our side, right? And I'm looking at him right now. Oh. You, Domonique.
I like it.
You're close enough to the area that you
Okay.
can go out, scout the town,
Scout it.
scout the
We need a
acreage.
property manager.
He has you right down the street.
Yeah, I mean, he's closer
You're
than I
Baltimore.
am. He's closer than I am. I mean,
DC, even closer.
I'm skipping a jump.
Yeah, just hop, skipping, and jump.
You know what I was thinking?
the Carolinas.
We may not need road. If it's waterfront and there's a dock, maybe we got a seaplane. You know what I mean? You fly right in onto the lake.
Yeah.
I like that.
Is there a dock or is there just room for a dock?
I think it's a dock op. I don't think
I
they
think
actually
it's
have a dock.
dock
Dock
op.
optional?
I don't think
Okay.
We can
yeah.
build that, though. Docks are easy.
Oh, can we?
I want to know
It's already costing you more money.
how
You gotta
many.
invest, dude.
I like Tony reminds me of a lot of people that I know, and I love
you.
these people in my life, but they also have fallen for a number of schemes. Tony,
Opportunities.
you got some get rich quick in your blood.
I didn't
and
even
that's
tell.
dangerous.
I
That's
didn't even tell him
dangerous.
how much it costs because when I tell
Doesn't
him
matter.
that,
The cost
he's-
doesn't matter.
the cost doesn't
The
matter.
cost doesn't matter.
I love it.
What's the cost?
I thought it didn't matter.
I'm for everybody else.
Okay, got it.
Obviously, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, do you
Very-
want,
very
do you want
nice
the,
of
the
you.
1 acre or the 2 acre option?
2 acre, half dock.
No, 2 acres full dock.
Oh, full dock,
Your
okay.
own dock.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
2 acre.
Yeah.
Get this. $19,999.
I'll pay it cash right now. I'll pay it cash. Domonique,
That is one of the most alarming
Domonique?
signs if you are selling 2 acres waterfront property for $19,000, I'm terrified.
Give me 5 in a row.
You'll be in prison in like 3 years.
Little town.
I really want to know. So, Tony.
No, he'll be in a swamp lost.
Maybe, yeah.
Are you
maybe
taking the 19 grand out of your life wallet?
Tony. All right, I need you to be honest with me real quick, Tony, okay? I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
And I know that the answer to this is not 0, so don't say 0. Tell me the truth, okay? How many times have you tried a scheme like this in your life? How many? 1, 2, 3? Like
A property scheme?
okay, forget property scheme.
Any get-rich scheme.
A scheme of any kind.
Mona
Maybe
V.
I'm calling it a scheme. Like, have you ever sold something for someone else?
That is incriminating. I will not say yes or no. That's incredibly incriminating.
You don't,
I have.
I plead
you
the
don't
fifth
have
on
to
that one.
answer that.
I plead the fifth on that one.
My apologies. I was going more
That's
to
crazy.
the pyramid scheme. Like, you strike me as a guy,
MLM guy?
who is
No.
definitely falling for an MLM or two and
Nah.
try to call all your
No, not my thing. MLM's not my thing.
try to call all your friends to meet you for a meeting
No.
at a ballroom. You're a ballroom guy.
He's an opportunity guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he likes a good opportunity
Big
coming
difference.
his way.
Okay, so
Now-
tell me about the successful opportunities. You've been alive for a long time, so you've come across a lot of
I
opportunities.
mean, he can buy 5 plots right now. He's cashed all of it.
I just want an opportunity that worked out.
less than
Anyway, I'm
100
sorry.
grand.
I'm sorry. I'm putting you on the spot. That's
I got a
not
couple
fair.
businesses here and there that are booming.
Yeah,
what do
I
you
like
want
it.
to tell you?
Yeah.
I can't get into the specific,
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
specificity of those businesses.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, we're
MMA
living good.
hangout.
They're booming so much you're
That
here.
is booming.
I mean,
Yeah, but Stu, me and Billy have always said, if I win the Powerball, I'll just come straight back to work.
Yeah, you got
And I'd be living here, just
I have
working,
not
just doing my
said
thing.
that.
No, I said that to you.
Billy would be gone in 2 seconds.
No, I said it to him that I would come back to work. But the point is,
So, can I ask a question real quick?
yes.
What is the opportunity? Like, you want to buy land in the middle of nowhere, and it sounds to
And then
me
he
like
wants to resell it.
you want
Well, no. Okay, so he
Fix it
wait,
up and
hold on.
resell?
He's told us he has a family history of this, where of someone in his wife's family went and bought
family history of falling for schemes. I
No,
like
they
it.
bought a bunch of land and they established like a town, but this was not in the year 2023.
No.
So he thinks that the land available to him is still that same opportunity.
There's
I
land
think.
everywhere, guys.
Okay.
Look around.
Got a
There's
theory.
land
All the
everywhere.
good land taken.
No.
Yeah.
Not
I
true.
feel like
Not true.
I feel like
There's land
towns
everywhere.
are contracting.
We're building up,
We're
which
not
is probably a reason for that, right?
okay. So
Not there, though.
Tony, there
No, I
is-
think in Saudi Arabia they're actually building down.
Yes. Really? Yes.
There's like this trench city. Let me find out details.
But Tony is right. There is land everywhere. It's just not $19,000, Tony.
We're being unfair. So what's the business plan?
Stu, if I told you there was a plot of land for $19,000, you'd also pay for
Well,
it. too.
Stugotz's family famously missed out on the opportunity to buy air. So
Yeah, air. Mm-hmm.
You could have
And the
been in on
hacky sack. Yeah. Yeah.
So what if I told you that there was a dock front acreage that I could sell you for 27?
I'd say no.
You have to think about it though.
So that's the plan. The plan is to buy it
And make
then send
$6,000.
and then send flyers to everyone's house
Saudi-
with a
Somebody's already doing it. Somebody's already doing it. They're
gonna
selling it for $19,900. They
Yeah.
probably bought it for $5.
But to make the 26, you're going to spend more than the 6 probably on flyers, selling and sending them out.
I got a guy for flyers. I'm
and
not
don't
worried
forget
about
like the,
flyers.
the,
Time
the
out.
plumbing and the electrical and
You
all
think
that.
got a guy
the
for
original
flyers.
deal was $5,000
I'm
and
saying,
now the
who
next
knows-
person is up to 19,900?
Maybe. And then that guy gets it and flips it for 38.
So you're not even
No.
trying to develop this land. You're just going to be flipping all of the
no,
property.
honestly, if I were to pay for it, I'd get like a nice little cottage. I'd put it out there by the water, set it up, get a nice pool, maybe a nice gazebo setup, and then start Airbnb-ing it.
A lot of these also say things like sight unseen, which is kind of
That's
like
cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
flag.
there's
red flag.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's like buying a storage unit. Sight unseen. I get everything that's in there. It might be a rookie, Mickey Mantle card, or it might be a bunch of bullshit. I don't know. But
Saudi Arabia has begun construction on a 500-meter tall mirrored linear city. Yeah,
I've seen
it's,
that.
What happened to Akon City?
And
Akon's making a city?
yeah,
Yeah, like this
apparently-
weird like tech city. It was like a whole thing.
I'm 5% owner of it.
5%.
You have Acoin? You have
owner.
Acoin?
Me and Akon.
So when I said you falling for any schemes?
That one's not a scheme though. It's Akon City. I mean, that one's good. So,
Okay.
are you intrigued? Are you interested at least?
Yes, Tony, I'm interested.
Like we can.
Can I tell you this? The thing, like, of all the things that I learned in 2 years of business school, the biggest lesson was if you are not in this industry, you don't know anything about this industry. And that was the biggest lesson that I learned, is that you need to accept that. And the example that we used often was, think of whatever industry you came from. And then imagine dropping somebody who has no experience in there, and think about how many mistakes they would make. You and most of us do the same thing when we look at other industries or other opportunities. We're like, hey, I got it under control. Just a little bit of this, that. And so my point is, I've never been a real estate developer. I've also, stayed away from the swamps of the South. It doesn't feel like a place that I need to be.
The Carolinas.
Sounds like an opportunity to reshape the South.
I'm good. I'm not in the reshaping business. So I guess that would be my advice, is you need to learn more about this. If you've never developed property before, probably don't want to buy 2 acres in a state that you don't know anything about.
Sounds like he's giving you a unique opportunity to make the South rise again.
Well, here's the thing, Domonique. I understand your business school. School of Hard Knocks told me.
You don't need business school to know you shouldn't buy 2 acres for $19,900.
Sure, Stu. Okay. Again,
that's a good price for 2 acres.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Too good. It's too good is the point.
Well, probably can't build on it. It's probably like swamp.
There's a dock.
There's a dock. You can build on it. That's the whole point.
Dock optional.
Docks.
Depending on which one you buy. The 2-acre has the option.
Again, since I'm not a professional in real estate development, my guess is what you would need to build a dock is not the same thing you would need to build a gazebo and a
It's
full
wood.
cottage.
No, it's the same thing. You build it with wood.
Not the same. We
just get a wood guy. He comes in.
A wood guy.
We get a wood guy, a lumber guy. There's trees all over the place. We can make it happen.
You have your own wood.
Wow.
It's in the forest. You don't even have to buy wood. It's there.
We need a lumberjack.
Locally sourced.
Just tell me the wood guy's union.
I don't know.
Don Le Batard.
I just heard a song that had Frank Sinatra singing from the window to the wall till the sweat drip off my balls.
Stugotz.
The window to
we all heard
the
that, right?
walls till the sweat drops down my balls.
So what I'm saying here,
all these females crawl, singing, oh, skeet, skeet, goddamn.
Old Blue Eyes.
congratulations on your Suey nomination.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
So we've been passing around this video around here the last couple of days of Fabhino, a Brazilian soccer star who's now playing. Here's the video. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. He's now playing in Saudi Arabia. And things are a little different over there. Apparently, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a journalist or a fan or something.
There's conflicting reports, whether it be, but it is not a representative of Al Ittihad, the club that Fabhino now plays for. Plays alongside Conte there, Karim Benzema, the reigning Ballon d'Or winner. Boy, I mispronounced that. Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
I always want to make it a balloon.
$5.
So, I mean, for those who are not watching, they didn't see what happened, but he just received a watch. A very expensive Rolex watch. Just handed to him by either a fan or a journalist or whatever.
Some are saying it's a 700,000 pound. That's it. That's a currency.
It's
It's a currency. Rolex. Well, we bring in a resident watch guy, wristwear expert, Tony.
It feels like a Rolex. It's a sporty Rolex with a rubber strap. But I like this, Billy. What are you trying to say? Like, I like watches.
Yep.
What's the problem? Learn, read a book, do something. Instead of complaining about everybody being
you
everything.
read the book
Jesus
of watches?
Christ.
I mean,
Tony, educate him.
Anyways, it was a sporty. I'm looking at the video here. It's a sporty Rolex with a rubber strap that the journalist doesn't put together, and then it just falls off his wrist. I can't get the exact model, but it could be like a James Cameron with a rubber strap. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Fabhino looks pretty stunned by this.
Yeah, and he looks pretty happy for a man who's made millions of dollars playing football. If he was getting handed a cheap-ass Timex, I'm not sure he'd be as excited, but I think this goes in line with all the money that Saudi Arabia and Qatar and all the kind of Middle East countries are throwing out around sports. It's kind of shocking to all of us over here. We're seeing it happen. It's funny. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. But I think right now Fabhino is pretty happy. He just got $750,000 just handed to him out of nowhere, and he can join a bunch of these other players who are getting pretty, I feel like getting rich is the wrong word. There's
like,
another word for what's
Don't hold us to the total that's been out there. These are all aggregate sites, and no one actually knows. One thing is for certain, that's a Rolex.
Right.
And that's a lot better than getting handed like a corporate beer-sponsored aluminum ball.
Yeah. But I think what he's happy about, it's just a general look he has on his face since he has that much money, right? It's not the Rolex.
I don't know.
I think
it's just wild. It's just wild because he didn't know this man. By all reports, and we keep saying journalists, like that seems like an oxymoron, but journalist or fan or whatever, it's just a random dude handing this man expensive ass watch for walking by. That seems
Walking by.
But it wasn't even like the man of the match was like an official like team sponsor Rolex man of the match. You get X. Like nah, he's like, hey, good work out there, bruh. Let me see your wrists.
You're definitely not a journalist if you're giving someone a watch.
I was going to ask, how much are journalists making over there?
That's not who that person is.
In Argentina, they used to give men of the match an actual Burger King crown.
Wow.
Like the paper ones?
Like the paper cardboard
awesome.
Burger King
I love
crown.
those.
That's great.
Yeah, you keep your crown, give me that watch. But not over there. I am not going to be like the NBA players.
There is actually there's a social media account that I follow that's like worst man of the match prizes. And sometimes like people have been given a live chicken.
It's great, delicious, useful.
Fresh eggs.
I'd rather have a live chicken than a Burger King crown, I think.
I saw someone get
debatable.
Someone was awarded a copy of Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation.
I love Crash Bandicoot. That's a good.
So many places to go. I love chickens. I love Crash Bandicoot. I also was hoping that we would talk about all the money that is, and not just money. I think the money is, we're past being shocked by the money that's being thrown at some of these soccer players to play over there. But the, I guess, perks that it's like of the stories that you guys have been reading recently, does anybody have one of the perks that jumped out to them as extra special?
So a lot of people have actually been saying, wow, Neymar has access to a private jet whenever he wants. Neymar, one of the most famous footballers on the planet, he actually had that perk over in PSG. So that's met with a big yawn. Yeah. So here's the reported list of all the benefits Neymar will receive in playing for Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia.
These are Neymar's perks, just
Perks.
Neymar's.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is in addition to his salary.
Okay.
Which I think he got a
$300 million.
$300 million,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
2 years, right?
Like a weekly wage,
Yeah.
he's making 6 times as much as he used to at PSG, and he was one of the world's richest footballers prior to. So he gets a home with 25 bedrooms,
Right.
a 40 by 10 meter swimming
In the
pool,
Carolinas.
and 3 saunas,
Business is booming right now.
Yeah.
5 full-time staff for his home, a Bentley Continental GT,
Nice.
an Aston Martin DBX,
Nice.
a Lamborghini Huracan,
Jesus.
a 24-hour driver. I mean, I don't think you need a 24-hour driver in Saudi Arabia. But if anybody can put that theory to the test, it's going to be Neymar. All bills for hotels, restaurants, and various services during his off days will be sent to the club headquarters and are to be paid. Wow. The private plane at his disposal for all his travels. 500,000 euro for each social media post that promotes Saudi Arabia.
Wow, that's the one.
Oh my gosh.
That's the one. That's the one.
All of this is in addition to his
What if you go like on
100 million
a
euro
20
salary.
a 20 tweet spree in a day? Like you're good. Here's just an extra $10 million.
They capping it?
Well, I think.
Yeah, like what if you do like
I don't
Saudi
think there's any
Arabia
cap.
a thread?
Are they forcing it?
Zero cap with Saudi Arabia.
Wait, but that's the one in what regard? Like that's where you draw the line? You can't do that.
No, I mean, it's just mind blowing to me that
Well, it doesn't need to do it.
whether he needs to do it or not, it's just mind blowing to me that they would be like, hey, just say nice things about us on the internet. Well, I guess it makes sense. There's nothing more valuable to the Saudi regime at this point than some good press.
I wonder how long players are going to actually be in Saudi Arabia for, because they're getting paid beyond their wildest dreams in these short doses. And I wonder if there are footballers from smaller clubs. If you look at a lot of the signings, a lot of those players, not unlike the rest of the leagues in the world, but they come from humble beginnings. Mm-hmm. And it seems as though people are making the conscious decision, like, I'm going to go get paid a boatload of money, which a lot of people do. I'm no shame in that. I'm going to set up my generational wealth, and then maybe I'll be back in 2 years, maybe I won't, and I'll do something that's a little bit more fun. Because Messi made the decision. I've got a lot of money,
right,
and I want to have joy in my life. And I already had the deal where if I post positively for Saudi Arabia on social media, they'll give me money for it anyways. So I'd rather have a certain quality of life. And players like Sergio Busquets for Inter Miami had Saudi Arabia as an option. Jordi Alba had Saudi Arabia as an option, but they were at different stages in their career, and they decided, I just want to have.
But I think that's the key, right? Like with some of the golfers who went to live, like Phil Mickelson. What choice did he have? Who's offering Phil Mickelson $300 million at 51 years of age?
Especially when he's burning through a billion.
What choice did he have?
No, but I'm saying it's different for him.
Poor Phil Mickelson.
Well, guys, he's gambled a lot away. He needed the money.
What
clearly.
choice did he have? Because he gambled the money
No, but Jess, your age is very
He's not
crucial.
growing up in a favela.
It's easy to say now. When you're Brooks Koepka, you can criticize that. But if you're 51 and you're way past your prime, and someone says, hey, here's $300 million, Jess, I promise you'd think about it. You would.
Yeah, but she has to think about it, as you said. That's a difference between
I just think that
listen.
You left me no choice.
I didn't want to say she'd do it, but I left her to think about.
I wouldn't do it. I would never say that. I don't know what I would do if I were presented with that opportunity. No one that's not the point I'm making. I'm pointing out the fact that you said
he didn't have a choice.
Does Mickelson have?
Well, I mean,
that's an absurd thing to say.
If you want to make $300 million at the age of 51, that was your only choice. But you're right.
He literally went back and forth on the decision.
Whoa, I said you're right. Leave me alone. I mean, jeez.
I know you're mad about the Nicole Hardman thing. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I didn't mean to make fun of you.
Merkel. It's a fine. $5.
It was just funny because you made it sound like, hey, have you guys heard of this player? We all know who he is.
Well, I was trying to clarify if I was saying his name.
But Rio Ferdinand.
And you would take the 300 million.
Rio Ferdinand touched on this, and he actually brought in international reputation. Do you know who Rio Ferdinand
is?
is?
That's what my Twitter rate already is.
You probably don't. Rio Ferdinand's a Manchester United legend, great footballer in his own right. And he actually took a pretty interesting angle on it, too. He's like, what makes the U.S. so great? We're talking about human rights, reputations, and all this. Like, they have their own problems. And if you look at the quality of football, I'd certainly jump at the chance to go to Saudi Arabia. Now, I don't believe Rio Ferdinand has watched a lot of the quality of football in MLS or Saudi Arabia. I'm doing my best to educate myself and watch the level of play. It's hard to get a gauge on it. For whatever reason, people have made this a budding rivalry. Why go to MLS? Saudi Arabia is a much better league. I'm like, who has watched this league enough to formulate an opinion?
Yeah.
I want to know the expert.
The question's not about the league capability. It's about aligning yourself or assisting in what everyone has accepted as some level of sports washing. And I think the only valid defense for these players is I'm a football player. I'm not here to have political battles, to fight political battles, or
it's also selfish of us too, because Messi caught flack for this, Beckham caught flack, and a lot of people were projecting their American moralities when it comes to the Middle East and other countries when they come from different places with different histories. I'm not making excuses for anybody, but I'm trying to talk this out, why people look at things differently. Saudi Arabia executed 81 people over the weekend. It was a mass execution. And there's been plenty of think pieces written on how unfair their justice system is. And I'm sure the Rio Ferdinands of the world will turn around and say, well, the American justice system isn't so fair, is it? So there's a lot of finger pointing when it comes to this. And you can get picked off pretty quick if you want to get on your moral high horse, which is why Phil Mickelson was left with no choice.
I mean, it's a false equivalency and also deflection. And also deflection. That's what anybody who's in this is doing. And I think
we're what about Chicagoing world football? And
it's not the world football part, is the part that makes it complicated. Because I don't think anyone actually cares if they're playing at a C level talent or B level talent. They care about aligning themselves with a regime that is responsible for these bad things. And that's where it gets kind of complicated, where it's like, all right, there's a guy who, as you pointed out, has come from a favela, has an opportunity to make a lot more money. And of course, he has an opportunity to make it elsewhere. Whether he wants to get involved in this or not is a choice. And there's a price to pay for all the choices that you make. And maybe the price is people are going to talk shit about you a little bit. And they probably don't give a damn, because clearly that's not what's important to them.
And these world footballers have a different experience as professionals. Like, they're going to talk shit about me. I played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like, I dealt with the media there.
Yeah.
Your tweets mean nothing to me.
What? No choice.
It's my choice to shit on Phil Mickelson.
Lefty.
Lefty.